So sometimes we're trying to pronounce words that don't come easy to us because maybe English is a second language, or the sound of the word, the mixture of the vowels and the consonants just don't flow. The tongue, the jaw's not moving properly. Okay, it could be a vowel, it could be a consonant that's difficult. And sometimes it's also the rhythm of the word. For example, the word observability, if you tried to say all of that and it was a word you've never said before, and also English is a second language, and so you're not used to some of the vowels and the sounds, right? You need to first slow it down into syllables. Syllables are the actual individual parts of that word. And in those parts, there is a vowel and there's a consonant. The vowel carries the sound, the music, right? The vowel carries that, and that's how we distinguish words through vowels. And the consonants either stop the air or allow the air to flow. So like a B would stop the air, right? But a F allows the air to come through. So the mixture of vowels and breath, right, makes up words. So we then have to break it up into syllable. For example, observability. 6 syllables. You would first slow it down. Observability. And you would notice the vowel and the consonant. Observe. Observe. See, it closes it. Observe. The consonant is V, the vowel is A. So vowels are A, E, O, U. I'm just doing the Italian ones, by the way. So observe. That's sort of a vowel too. It's not an Italian one, but there's a vowel there. So observe. Be or li t. Observability, right? So in that, there's consonants and vowels. So once you do that slowly, observability, then you start to speed it up, observability, and then you shape the word into its rhythm. Rhythm is the sound of the word carries a rhythm. And so there's also a rhythm to the word. For example, vulnerability. It's a very similar rhythm to observability. Likability. They all have the same rhythm. But don't do the rhythm until you pronounce the vowels and the consonants. Reinforcement is different to vulnerability. Reinforcement. It has a different stress on the vowel. See, reinforcement. That's reinforcement. That's 4. And it's got a different feel to observability. Reinforcement. See how there's a stretching of the vowel. The vowel there is longer. Secretary. That's got a different rhythm again. Secretary. Reinforcement. Likability. So it depends how you say it, how it's phrased in a sentence. And so what you need to pay attention to is slowing it down first, noticing the vowels, the consonants, and then getting comfortable with the movement of the tongue and the jaw, the breath too, nice and deep, jaw nice and relaxed, tongue behind the bottom teeth. All right, so give it every opportunity, because if your jaw's tight and your tongue scrolled at the back and there's no breath, you're not going to get anything out anyway, and you'll get frustrated. So you slow it down. And then you build up the rhythm and record yourself, right? You must record yourself, because who knows what you sound like until you record it. You can't hear your own voice inside your head, so you record yourself and you listen to it. You put the word into a sentence. That's important too, isn't it? Because sometimes the word in a sentence will also be stressed and pronounced differently. Because sometimes if I need to say, we had to send reinforcements out to the community. And I'm emphasizing that word. This all depends on your likability. Do you see the way I pronounce that one? I stress likability. So it depends how the word belongs in the phrase and in the context also. So there's that to consider. So when we're speaking, we're also creating like a musical note. It has rhythm and it has a sound in it, and it can change according to what you're trying to express. So sometimes a word like likability, if it's in a sentence, like it's really important that your likability is at a high level. So I said likability. I then expressed it with breath. I expressed it with emotion, and it was musical. And yeah, we call it expression in speech, but it does have inflection and pitch in there. And if the voice doesn't have that, that also really diminishes the value of what you're trying to say and the meaning. So we want to be able to pronounce our words properly, put the rhythm in, put the emotion in, and in all of that, it becomes a musical tune to people's ears. It can either be very boring or it can be very interesting, just like any song out there. So keep that in mind. One other point is that sometimes the way to feel comfortable in pronouncing words is to literally copy the sound of somebody who's pronouncing it very well. And what you're doing is you're listening to their tone, you're listening to the vowels that they're pronouncing in the words and the consonants, and you're just copying it. You're also copying the rhythm. Hopefully you're listening to somebody who's speaking clearly and in a way that's easy for you to copy. Now, the difference is, even in music, we often listen to a singer and we copy them exactly the way they sound. And then obviously after a while you make it your own and you interpret it in your own way and you express it in your own way. But in the beginning, you are exactly copying and modeling everything that the other person does, the singer, the song, the expression of the song. You're feeling it in your body. You're not just reading it from music from your head and making it a sort of a logical approach, but you're also feeling that song or that music. And you can do the same with words. You can feel it. Feel what somebody's saying. Hopefully they're doing it slow first and then they're doing it in that rhythmic pattern. Listening and copying is another way of developing language patterns and not just trying to read every consonant and every vowel, because you'll find that in some words, like vulnerability, you're not actually pronouncing the L. And so you don't want to be going vulnerability. So there are some words that we're not actually pronouncing every consonant. And so therefore you're better off also listening to the speaker. And dictionaries can do that. They've got actual tracks where they're actually pronouncing it for you with the syllables phonetically. So you would just copy that, or a person that you know that is actually speaking it in context.